Hello and welcome to this presentation regarding the IHSA Boys Basketball State Finals. My name is Kurt Gibson and I'm the association's Associate Executive Director, and I'm the administrator in charge of boys basketball. And I put together this short presentation to help schools that have advanced this far in the state series to offer a short overview of some topics that you might want to begin considering in the event that your school qualifies for our state finals in Peoria. I recognize that the time frame between the super sectional game on Tuesday night and the time when your school would report for its shoot around at the state finals on Thursday is pretty limited, and so with all the other goings on at your school during that time, we found there to be some value in this short presentation so you can at least begin thinking about some of these topics before you might advance to Peoria. And I would tell you, after you view this presentation, if you have any questions about anything that you've heard, you can email me at the IHSA at kgibson@ihsa.org, or you can certainly call the office number, which is 309-663-6377, and ask for either myself or my assistant, Laura. And we'll be more than happy to help you with any of those questions that might come out of this presentation. So today I just want to talk quickly about 5 topics that are generally the ones that schools typically have questions about in that time frame between Super Sectional Tuesday and shoot around on Thursday at Peoria. And those 5 areas are tickets, lodging, passes, awards, and then finally uniforms. So let's first start with Tuesday night and the game ends and what's going to happen. If your school wins its super sectional game, you'll be presented with a box of materials, and included in that box will be a document that looks like this. It's a special instructions bulletin, and we would first encourage you when you get back to your school to look through this. This is a really important document, and we like to think this covers everything you need to know from that point until you get to Peoria. So it's really critical to look through that. But also in that box will be the tickets that you'll be able to sell to your fans for its games at Carver Arena on both Friday and Saturday. You'll be allotted just over 800 tickets. There will be 2 different envelopes, one for Friday tickets, one for Saturday tickets. And it'll be up to you at that point to decide if you want to sell your fans just a one-day ticket or if you want to sell them tickets for both Friday and Saturday. There are 2 price values to the tickets. There are $8.50 seats and $10.50 seats. It's your decision in regards to who sits where in the sections that are given to you at Carver Arena. If you want to bring your students down closer, sell them the $10.50 tickets. If you want some of your adult fans down lower, sell those to them. Either way, it's up to you, but at the state finals, everybody needs a ticket. That means administrators, that means coaches' wives, that means players' parents. Everybody needs a ticket. Inside of those envelopes will also be reconciliation forms, and we ask that when your team reports to Carver Arena for its shoot around on Thursday that you bring your ticket money and any unsold tickets with you. You'll meet me, we'll go up to the box office, and you'll begin the reconciliation process with the box office there in Peoria. It's important to point out to your fans that if they choose not to buy tickets for Friday and Saturday's games from you before the team leaves for Peoria, there's not a guarantee that those fans will be able to sit with your team section down in Peoria. So it's really to their benefit to buy both tickets, a Friday and a Saturday ticket, from you at the school before Thursday afternoon. So tickets, number one thing that we wanted to hit on. Secondly, we want to talk a little bit about lodging. The Downtown Pere Marquette and Courtyard by Marriott will serve as our Tournament Central hotels for the state finals. Both of those properties are connected, and there's a walkway that runs from the hotels directly to the Civic Center. So while folks can still make that 1 block walk outside, if the weather does get a little inclement, they'll also be able to take the covered walkway over to the Civic Center. The price points in both properties are the same, so there will be 4 schools that will stay each weekend in the Pere Marquette and 4 in the courtyard, but there's no difference in the price, and the room numbers and the room types are the same as well. Each school will have 15 rooms reserved in their name, and there will be contact information for the hotel in the special instructions bulletin. You can call that person as soon as possible on Wednesday morning to begin making arrangements for how many of those 15 rooms your school plans on using Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and all the details and all the costs associated with those rooms will be worked out between your school and the hotel. But the cost of those, like I said, will be on the school. But everybody will be downtown, and you really won't have a need once you get your team there to have to worry about transporting them too much. So it really works out well, and we're excited to be working with the Marriott for this year's tournament again. Next thing I want to hit on are passes, because like I mentioned, in order to see the games at Carver Arena, you have to have a ticket. Now, there will be some folks that will receive a credential as well, and this is what one of the player credentials looks like this year for 1A and 2A. And those will be for the folks associated with your team, the players and coaches who are in compliance with our bylaw. There will be passes for administrators, and there will be cheerleader passes that will be distributed at our pre-tournament administrative meeting on Thursday night. But the real thing I want to emphasize with the passes that you need to make sure your coaches and others are aware of, that those are important in order to get people additional access that other fans can't get. It'll get folks checked in under the arena. It will allow folks to go into the locker room. It will allow folks to be in the bench area. And without those credentials, people who might otherwise expect to be with your team will not be allowed to stay with the team when they report to Carver Arena. There are limits on the number of passes that will be at your team's disposal. That information is in the terms and conditions. It's also in the special instructions bulletin, and it'll be covered as well with your coach when he and the team arrive in Peoria on Thursday. There will be, as I mentioned, some administrative passes. And those passes are really designed for administrators, and that will enable administrators also to have some additional access. These aren't tickets to the games. It just allows administrators some additional access to places in the arena that they otherwise wouldn't be able to go. Helps them get on the floor, for example, for awards. So again, these will be just for administrators who are helping with fan supervision and team supervision down in Peoria. Those will also be distributed on Thursday. Those can't be lost, because once those are distributed, we have no more to provide folks. So it's really important to share with your team and administrators the importance of those so they don't get lost in the shuffle of things. The next thing I want to touch on is awards. At our state finals, when we have our award ceremonies, those are designed for administrators at the school, the coaches who are in compliance with IHSA bylaws, the players, and that's it. It's a high school event, so ball boys or managers that aren't of high school age, and high school students, young children, other adults. Really, the awards are not for those folks. They're for the people and the high school players that are involved with your team. This award sheet, and this is a sample from last year, will be provided to your school. We'll have gone over this likely before your school comes to Peoria on Thursday, but that'll be something that will be cleaned up and tightened up, and we'll know exactly who's going to be involved in the awards presentation for your school before we get to that point on Saturday. But this is a document that you'll want to look over, and we'll review it, and we'll be in touch with you in regards to that. But the real key is to just understand that you'll be limited to a fixed number of people who can go through the awards ceremony on Saturday, irrespective of what awards ceremony your school and your team will be participating in. And then finally, while I've had a chance to see many of the teams that are still alive in this year's state series, I haven't seen all of them. So one thing I'm asking, if you've watched this presentation, to do is take a picture of your school's uniforms, your white jerseys that you wear when you're home, your dark jerseys you wear when you're visitors, and send a picture of those to me at, again, K Gibson, KGIB as in boy, SON, at IHSA.org, so we can review that and just make sure that there are no uniform concerns that we need to address before we get to Peoria. What I typically recommend to folks in terms of taking that picture is to lay it down on a flat surface and take a picture looking down on it. And then usually that's all I need, but if there was something else, then I would get back up with you. But really just more focused on the jerseys, not so much worried about the pants or the shorts that your teams wear. So that's really, I appreciate you taking the time out. That's really it for this presentation. I just wanted to highlight a few areas that sometimes folks wonder about, and then in that short time frame from super sectional to Thursday don't have time to always get addressed. Feel free to contact me here at the IHSA office if you do have some questions. But in the event that there aren't any, we look forward to working with your school should they qualify for the state finals in Peoria, and we wish you and your team best of luck the rest of this postseason. Thank you.